Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. Get your tin foil hats on the go, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time for more things that have ripped off Skylanders. Yes, over the last few months I have been collecting so much evidence about so many different brands ripping off Skylanders or getting inspired from them. And man, oh man, it ain't just Brawl Stars. It ain't just AFK Arena. No. There's so many things out there that's ripping off Skylanders, and I have a huge list of them, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be a while. Yeah. But there's a lot to it. So I think before you start this video, you should go watch the other two so you understand why I'm sitting here and being so upset about this. Because literally an entire game, AFK Arena, ripped off a bunch of things from Skylanders, but not as bad as Brawl Stars. Brawl Stars ripped everything off of Skylanders. But man, oh man, ever since then, you guys, and also just my general knowledge, has noticed a lot of things popping up saying that it's ripping off of Skylanders. And some of them are going to be very surprising. And don't worry, I have information about it. So it's not like I'm just going in this unbiased. No, I have real information. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started and see what ripped off of Skylanders in these last 12 years. Whew, it's a lot. So the first one popped up. A lot of people actually mentioned this one. There is a game called Dragon City. I actually used to play it on my mobile device all the time. And there's a dragon in it called the Rock Dragon. And there's also a baby version of said Rock Dragon. There's also a Rock Dragon in Skylanders. His name is Bash. And he also has a baby named Bop. Weird, huh? Well, not as weird of the fact that Bash debuted in Skylanders in October 12th of 2011, not 19. 2011, October 12th. While Rock Dragon debuted on May 8th of 2012. Only 7 months later? That's weird. The fact that he looks basically the same as Bash, same color scheme, the fact that he's rock, which Bash is earth, they clearly ripped that one off. And the fact he has a baby version, they're going to say, Chris, but Bob didn't come out until 2015. You shut your mouth. It's 2014, get it right. But along with that, it's just a baby version. Yeah? Still a Rock Dragon. They ripped off Bash. They ripped off Bash. That's why I stopped playing the game, actually. Because they ripped off Bash, and I was just tired of it. Whew. In the game Subnautica Below Zero, which came out in January of 2019, when you're going into your base, there's this music that plays. Lovely music, right? Doesn't it sound like the overworld theme in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure from October of 2011? 8 years earlier? I dare say that I hear say they can't get away with this. No. That is literally the same music, and if it's not the same music, it's inspired by it. And I know the boys at Toys for Bob did not swing over to Subnautica Below Zero and make that. I played the first one too, and there was no music like it, and then 8 years later they produced new music for Below Zero? Come on, bro. Come on. Canada's leading tech company, The Source, owned by Bell Media, claims they know everything about tech. And that's probably true. I mean, they're Canada's leading. Back in 2017, they introduced their own line of music products from headphones to speakers called Headrush. Yeah, you know where I'm going with it here. Headrush from Trap Team debuted in 2014. So 3 years later, The Source casually opens up a company brand called Headrush 4 years after Headrush from Trap Team comes out. No one was talking about Headrush until then, and they thought, oh, Skylanders, we don't carry that in store anyways, no one will even know. We noticed that Head Rush is a Skylander and you ripped it off. Yeah, no wonder you're phasing them out. You want to get rid of the evidence. That's right, I'm on to you. Shin Impact, a game that a lot of people play. I see it popping up everywhere. You're playing it on live streams, playing it on mobile, consoles, all that stuff. It honestly looks like a pretty fun game. Maybe I'll give it a try. Who knows? But for now, I'm mad about the Crushers. Because there's a character in the game called Crusher. He literally named Crusher. Look at that. Crusher. Look what's in his hand. A giant hammer. Genshin Impact debuted in September of 2020. Okay. You know what debuted in October of 2012? 10 years prior? A Skylander named Crusher, who has a giant hammer. The fact that its name is Crusher, the fact that he has a giant hammer like Crusher, y'all, come on. You could have called it literally anything else. You could have called it Smacker, Smasher, Masher, Basher. You could have called it anything, but no. You called it Crusher. And it looks just like Crusher from Skylanders. I caught you. Yeah, I caught you in that one, don't you worry. Try again, Genshin Impact. Maybe I won't play your game after all. This one here is really interesting. You know Sprocket from Skylanders from Giants came out on October 17th of 2012. Yeah, this Sprocket. Not my favorite Skylander at all. But I can't deny it that Sprocket the bird from Animal Crossing, a tech bird from Animal Crossing, came out on November 8th of 2012. It wasn't even a month. It never even took them a month to get Sprocket from Giants into Animal Crossing. Yeah, Sprocket never came out in the earlier one. Sprocket debuted in Welcome to Amiibo for New Leaf. Yeah, come on now. You gotta be kidding me. Literally not even a month before they debuted their own Sprocket. And it's a tech bird. It could have been anything else, and maybe I would have let it slide, but the fact that it's a tech bird, when Sprocket is tech, and look at the color scheme. Orange and green looks a little familiar. I'm getting lightheaded by this one. It actually makes me sad. Disney's Mirrorverse is a game where Disney characters fight off shattered versions of themselves. They're bad characters. I like Disney Mirrorverse. It's literally right there on my bottom shelf. I have a ton of figures. I have a giant Sully in the closet behind me. I just don't know where to put them. Every month they debut some new characters. Back in March of 2023, they debuted Alice from Alice in Wonderland and Moana from Moana. Moana's weapon, however, looks oddly familiar of a certain Flip Wreck from October of 2014's Trap Team. What was that, 7 years later? 7 years? No, 9 years? I can't count. 9 years later, they debut a very similar weapon with the shark teeth on the side and even the rope wrapped around. Moana doesn't even use that in the movie. Even Maui doesn't even use that. Yet for some reason it's in this. You gotta be joking me. I'm still gonna play Mirrorverse. It's actually a really, really fun game and y'all should try it out. It's really fun. And their figures are really cool. Like, I have a ton of them. I absolutely love them. You can't see a couple, but they're hidden there. I also have Genie and Baloo and 2 Sullys and Shattered Jack Sparrow and Mickey and Goofy. I main Tinkerbell in it. Back in November of 2020, Apple debuted their new MacBook, which was with the new M1 chip, supercharged with an M1 chip. That's weird, huh? Supercharged. Where have I heard that one before? I don't know. From September of 2015, Skylander Superchargers debuted, where you could take a Skylander and put it with a vehicle and it becomes supercharged. Apple ripped off Skylanders. I literally can't believe it. I'm actually upset by this one. Apple, the billion-dollar company that for some reason people love their phones and products even though they're not that great and they're not worth the money. That's right, a hot take, all right. I'm an Android user. Tim Cook, I will personally fight you because you ripped off Skylanders by using a supercharged MacBook M1 chip. And it's pathetic because Skylanders came out with it 5 years prior. Supercharged, and no one's ever used that phrase until Superchargers came out. You know it. Tim Cook's probably a Skylander fan. And I'm okay with that. When RuPaul's Drag Race took over Canada for their own spin-off series, a certain queen debuted named Chaos. With a K. K-A-O-S. Where have I seen that before? Oh, right. 11 years prior when Chaos debuted in Spyro's Adventure. K-A-O-S. Chaos? Yet 11 years later, a drag queen debuts in July of 2022 on RuPaul's Drag Race named Chaos. Weird timing, because it was like, oh, it's only 11 years. No one's even gonna realize. Oh, I don't care if it was literally 4 seconds ago. We're gonna realize. Yeah, and I don't know how well you did on the show because I never watched it. My girlfriend's a RuPaul Drag Race fan, but I'm not. I hope you did well because that's the only success you're getting, stealing Chaos's name. Oh yeah, I noticed. Heroes vs. Horde Survivor. Y'all have no clue what that is, do ya? And that's perfectly fine. It is a game on your mobile device. This is mine. Came out in September 23rd of 2022. I have to look it up because I've never heard of it. And they debuted a character named Knight. Sure, it's just a knight, right? Why does it have the exact same stance, exact same pattern, exact same color scheme of Igniter, who debuted in October of 2011 for Spyro's Adventure? Even the little wisp on the top of his head is like the little wisp on top of Igniter. Look, I literally have an Igniter figure right here. Look at that wisp. You think some random Android game, or I don't know what it's on Android for sure. You think they wouldn't rip off something because they'll know. Oh, yeah, you are right, we will know. And you're gonna be like, Crash, he's just a knight based off of mythology. I mean, so does Igniter. But the colors and the wisp on the head. The wisp on the head. You gotta be kidding me. And last but not least, this one I wasn't even going to include until I played it the other day. Goat Simulator 3. I waited forever for this game to go on sale because I really wanted to play it. And I bought it. And had a blast playing it. Actually, me and my girlfriend played it together. However, the final boss fight looked very familiar. You fight the actual main villain. You have to avoid obstacles. You do little odds and ends where they split up to become multiple characters. You beat the right character to get him eliminated. And then you get into a racing section where you have to shoot a giant guy trying to kill you. Sound familiar? It's almost like when you had to face Chaos and Darkness in Superchargers. So literally, 7 years later. 6 years later. 8 years later. Between 6 and 8 years later, Goat Simulator 3 completely rips off Skylanders. And I know there's little Easter eggs and mixed in with it, but this one is blatant. This one is too much similar to the actual gameplay of the final battle of the Chaos and Darkness fight. If you literally put them together, they did that for Goat Simulator 3. Also, there's a boss fight in Goat Simulator 3. What? But for real, they gave us a boss fight that was literally Skylanders Superchargers boss fight. And they didn't think we'd notice. We did. We noticed. So, I hope that clears some air, ladies and gentlemen, developers watching, random people just watching, coming up with ideas. We will know when you rip off Skylanders. We see it firsthand. You see everything I just listed? All of them. Very weirdly coming out after Skylanders. And that one person who keeps saying, Crush, what about Splat? Didn't they rip off Skylanders? Yeah. They know they did, though. And they've admitted it. Unlike everyone on this list, or Brawl Stars, or AFK Arena, I'm watching you. But also realize, this is satire. Don't take any of this seriously. It's just a weird coincidence that every single one of these have linked together. You know? I mean, a couple of them are very, very weird. Like the Goat Simulator one, when I was doing that boss fight, I literally felt like I was taking on Chaos in the Darkness again, and that was weird. And Moana's weapon, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's Flipwreck's weapon from Skylanders. I even showed people. I'm like, that's what it is. And the Subnautica one, girlfriend was playing it, heard the music, and said it sounds a lot like Skylanders. Some of them are just odd coincidences, you know? There was another one I had. I was going to do Hogwarts Legacy in the Phoenix. The Phoenix looks like Sunburn, but that's just what Phoenixes look like, as I found out. I wish he had some kind of thing like he says like his colors burn like the sun or something like that. I'd be like, you gotta be kidding me. But it didn't. But that's going to do it for this one. Remember, this is all satire. Don't take this seriously. Don't go rip me apart in the comments like the Brawl Star people did. A lot of people came over from the Brawl Stars fan base and actually started going after me and didn't realize it was clearly satire. And it's just weird coincidences they all teamed up. I don't know, though. The one with the robot that shoots bullets from his fingers and rolls on his one wheel, that was weird. Anyways, that's going to do it for this very exciting edition of Everything Rips Off Skylanders. This is probably the last one, just because I've seen all these ones and I just wanted to get like one and done kind of thing. If I happen to see something else though, maybe the conspiracy theory will come back. But for now, that's going to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you know of anything that ripped off Skylanders, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read all of that. Y'all mean the world to me. Don't ever forget to remember, do not take this seriously. Do not attack me or anyone else in the comments because you see something that rips off things. It's all a joke. Don't take it seriously. Life is a big joke anyways. Don't take it seriously. But as always, I bid you farewell.